Good afternoon, thank you for joining me. I am Precious Mzeya Sakaleji. Welcome to Camnet TV Media News. The headlines. KAMBWILI beefed up security as court finds him with a case to answer for insulting President LUNGU. No need to worry about the temporal fuel shortage, urges BOWMAN LUSAMBO. Join me with the media news in detail after this commercial.
The Electoral Commission of Zambia (ECZ) has extended the physical inspection of the Provisional Register of Voters for the purpose of verification of voter details. The extension of the physical inspection exercise will be conducted from the 3rd to the 7th of April 2021. If you are a registered voter and you need to correct details on your voter's card, go to the designated registration center and have your details corrected. During the inspection period, a registered voter can replace a lost, damaged, or defaced voter's card, transfer from one polling station to another, make a claim to be included in the Provisional Register of Voters if they were omitted. Remember to carry your voters and green national registration cards to inspect your details. If you are replacing a lost voter's card, carry your green national registration card and a police report. It is your right. It is your vote.
Because 2021
it is your
time to vote. 2021, let's verify.
This message is brought to you by the Electoral Commission of Zambia, ECZ.
Are you a qualified, impartial and professional journalist, news editor, video editor or newscaster? Camnet TV is looking for more professionals in the media industry. For more details, call 0962 965883 or send your details to our email info@camnettvafrica.com. Camnet TV, not just another channel.
And now the media news in detail. Lusaka Chief Resident Magistrate Kamuyili has found National Democratic Congress leader Chishimba Kamuyili with a case to answer in a matter he is accused of insulting President Edgar Lungu by referencing that he was a dog from Chawama. When the matter came up for ruling this morning, the court placed Kamuyili on his defense on grounds that the state had established sufficient evidence to put him on his defense. In this matter, Kamuyili stands charged with one count of defamation of the president. It is alleged that on dates unknown but between 26th and 27th of August 2019, with intent to bring the name of the president into hatred, ridicule or contempt, did publish an insulting matter by word of mouth. The Continental Leadership Research Institution has called on government to ensure that an adequate system that addresses incidences which affect disruption of the distribution of petroleum products in the country be put in place. Commenting on the shortage of fuel which has hit some parts of the country due to the protests by the tanker drivers, CLRI Executive Director Paul Mundia Hankula said fuel is one of the key drivers of the economy, hence the need to ensure there is no disruption in the supply chain of the commodity in the country. He says government should create a system that will always be ready for incidences that might affect the distribution system of petroleum products to ensure that the end users of petroleum products are not affected instantly by the disruption in the distribution chain.
The Continental Leadership Research Institute has noted the fuel shortage in the country and has taken time to observe what has been happening. To us as an institute, we take this opportunity to call upon the government of the Republic of Zambia to ensure that we create systems that will ensure that at a time when there is a distortion or disruption in the supply chain of fuel, we have a way in which we can counter or cushion these disruptions by ensuring that we have adequate storage, at least for even a month, so that the disruptions do not affect the economic activities of the country. It is important that even in the COVID era where we are, we create proper systems that are going to ensure that at a time when we are going to have disruptions in the supply chain, we are prepared adequately to ensure that we counter the disruptions by our preparedness in having enough fuel in our storage capacity, in our storage facilities.
Meanwhile, Lusaka Province Minister BOWMAN LUSAMBO says there is no need for people to panic about the fuel issues as the government has everything under control and the country has enough fuel. Speaking to journalists in Lusaka during a check on the fuel situation, Mr. LUSAMBO disclosed that the fuel crisis which has been experienced for the past few days has been addressed by the government. Hence, no one should be under the impression that the country is experiencing fuel shortage, as there is no such thing. Meanwhile, he has described some politicians as under 5 politicians who want to create tension over the fuel issue.
Following the presidential directive that all fuel tanker drivers start delivering fuel to their respective destination, the fuel situation in Lusaka has slowly started normalizing following a 2-day fuel crisis experienced in some parts of the country. An inspection conducted in different filling stations in Lusaka showed that they had fuel despite long queues of motor vehicles. The fuel crisis that has been experienced since Saturday was as a result of protests by Zambian fuel tanker drivers who had been on go-slow because foreign transporters are being given the preference to load the fuel from Tanzania and Mozambique ports than local transporters, despite government signing the 50% volume allocation policy. But yesterday, the head of state directed that 50% fuel volume allocation to local transporters be fully implemented without any delay, and went further to direct that tanker drivers start delivering fuel to their respective destination with immediate effect. Meanwhile, Lusaka Province Minister BOWMAN LUSAMBO says there is no need for people to panic about the fuel issue, as government has everything under control and the country has enough fuel.
So I can assure you that the president intervened in that issue of drivers and their truckers association, and everything has come back to normal. It's not about fuel. It wasn't about fuel because we have enough stock of fuel. So the president intervened in that. So for me, I want to urge my colleagues here. There is no need to come with jerry cans. We saw some people yesterday, those small under 5 politicians with plastic containers and jerry cans, to show the people of Zambia as if there's a shortage of fuel. We don't have shortage of fuel in our country. We don't have. But President Edgar Chagolungu bali shof barets time. Bali shof barets time. So
and PF Truck Drivers National Mobilization Committee chairperson had this to say over the issue.
We are here to encourage all our fellow tanker drivers to continue delivering fuel to their respective destination as per directive from the head of state, His Excellency Dr. Edgar Chagolungu. We would like to thank His Excellency for his quick intervention in this misunderstanding between OMCs and transport and local transporters. We are here to make an announcement or to urge all transporters to follow what the government states and what the government gave all truck drivers. This must be respected by all transporters.
Miriam Kemba reporting for Camnet TV News.
In other news, the Gordon Party of Zambia President Jackson Silavwe has charged that the Zambia Police Command is highly compromised in its operations. In a statement issued to Camnet TV, Mr. Silavwe notes that the police have been unfair when dealing with political parties, hence fueling the current political insanity prevailing in the country. The opposition leader explains that as the country heads towards the polls in August this year, there is need for the police to be a service and not a force to the Zambian people. He has since called for fairness in the application of law and not favor for the ruling party as seen in recent pasts.
And as a party, we're extremely concerned because our view is that the police command at the moment is not acting professionally. We have seen a Zambia police that easily swings into action when elements of the opposition political parties seem to abrogate the law. And yet we have seen the same Zambia police which relaxes when elements of the ruling party get to break the law again. And this is not good for democracy. We have seen a Zambia police that revokes permits which were lawfully given by them. They would say they do not have manpower, and immediately that procession goes ahead, we see all the manpower coming into effect. We have seen a Zambia police that easily detains political leaders for quite a long time on flimsy grounds. So when you look at the current Zambia police, it does not exude the confidence of the political leaders, especially in the opposition. The feeling right now amongst us, the opposition political leaders, is that the Zambia police favors more of the ruling party than being on the side of the law and applying it professionally. We have seen the Zambia police come in very strong to disrupt meetings for the opposition political parties.
United Party for National Development UPND Central Province Youth Chairperson Milna Mwanakampwe says the dream of having a free and credible election can only be achieved if the Electoral Commission of Zambia ECZ is allowed to work independently. Mr. Mwanakampwe says 5 extra days which ECZ added for the verification will not help the situation because there are many people whose particulars are not properly addressed in the voter register. He has advised the ECZ to extend further the voter verification exercise to allow more people to verify and correct errors in the register. He says ECZ will disenfranchise many voters who will fail to correct their details within the set time. Meanwhile, UPND National Youth Chairperson Gilbert Liswaniso has made a strong appeal to the Patriotic Front to give them space and allow them to conduct their campaigns in peace rather than oppressing them.
To do with the voter verification exercise. I don't want to appeal to ECZ, Electoral Commission of Zambia, to be magnanimous to the people of Zambia and extend the period for the verification exercise. Elections everywhere, world over, must not only be credible, but must be seen to be credible. The credibility must be given, because that's what foments and breeds anarchy if the electoral process is not handled properly. So our appeal as young people throughout the country is that let Electoral Commission of Zambia extend the voter verification exercise. Secondly,
it's time for election. Let's do politics, all of us. Do your politics, the PF will do our process as UPND. If you have worked, the people of Zambia will decide on the 12th of August.
Well, that news item brings us to the end of Camnet TV Midday News, but before we go, the headlines once again. KAMBWILI in beefed up security as court finds him with a case to answer for insulting President LUNGU. No need to worry about the temporary fuel shortage, urges BOWMAN LUSAMBO. That is all. Thank you for joining me. I am Precious Mzeya Sakaleji. Remember to always wear your mask, avoid crowded places, wash your hands for at least 20 seconds, or use alcohol hand-based hand sanitizer. Stay safe and good afternoon.